Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News Update. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Today's topic: former National Security Minister Jack Warner warned the government against muzzling citizens, in other words, infringing on our rights to be able to peacefully protest anywhere in our country of Trinidad and Tobago. He stated that Trinidad and Tobago was a democracy and that under the Constitution, citizens were allowed to demonstrate their dissatisfaction with any government, whether it's the PNM or the UNC or any other party that might end up winning the elections in the future. I'm truly hoping that a third party will rise up and be able to win the elections in 2030, because I can't handle. We cannot go with the PNM. The PNM has been a destructive force from the very beginning, since under Eric Williams. So we can't go back to the PNM. We can't continue to trust the UNC either. Not after what they have begun to do in this term. He believes the no protest zones in place should not have been there, and he's correct about that. Mr. Warner noted that the United National Congress government was in office because of protests. Exactly. Protests for especially for the second term of Rowley's reign here in Trinidad and Tobago. I attended many of those protests, the pushback movement protests, and also the PSA protests. He added that the people were hurting and something was wrong when they could not protest outside of Parliament. Finally, Mr. Warner said he was amazed to see the high number of armed officers deployed at protests against the police-involved killing of Joshua Samaru. It was all just to make it look as though there was some sort of danger. It was a young lady and her friends and family, a Christian young lady, a Christian young woman who wasn't even trying to incite any type of violence or anything like that. As a matter of fact, she wasn't even attacking the government. He even said how Kamala had the potential to be a good leader. And that is how she was repaid. My response: Queen Kamala has become a dictator just like Rowley, even though she criticized him for oppressing and persecuting the citizens of TNT for 9.5 years. This level of hypocrisy should never be encouraged, and yet that is exactly what UNC supporters are doing. Listen to this, people. UNC fanatics in 2026 compared to all the other years. We support dictatorship under Queen Kamala because PNMites defended these same draconian measures under Rowley. When you look at all the different comments from these PNM patriots, all they keep telling is, but they didn't do this, but the PNM people didn't do this, the PNM people didn't do that, the PNM people did not oppose this, the PNM people did not oppose that. So because they did not oppose it, that means you're going to approve of it now because your party in office. That makes sense to any of you? This is what happens when a population is controlled by tribalism and loyalty to party instead of logic, instead of having normal, grounded morals and values. Two wrongs, people, don't make it right. What's even more concerning is that the new dictator is imposing even more extreme restrictions than the former Emperor Rowley, which is something I never thought would have happened. I never thought Kamala would have ever been the person that she has become. Even though the TTPS was used by the PNM to prevent citizens from protesting during Rowley's lockdowns, and we are talking about years of lockdowns, it destroyed our country. We have never really recovered from that. So even though the TTPS was used by the PNM to prevent citizens from protesting during Rowley's lockdowns, he never designated anywhere in TNT as restricted zones. Never. And he was a tyrant. And today Rowley probably watching Kamala and saying either two things: well done, my good and faithful servant, or wow, she is even worse than I am. Kamala is now pushing us even closer to a full dictatorship than Rowley ever did during his 9.5 years reign of destruction. Y'all can understand that? 9.5 years of destruction, and yet Kamala is coming and even making it worse. While she continues to declare new state SOEs for the next, I asked the question, will she continue to declare new SOEs for the next 4 years? Or will she use the ZOSO law to declare these same areas as restricted zones? Because from what I read online, she intends to reintroduce a new ZOSO law into Parliament that will not need a special majority. And therefore, what is she going to do? Use that same law in order to declare all these different government locations as no protest zones? Telling us something is going terribly wrong with that woman. This woman is not the same Kamala whom we voted for and trusted back in Pandey's times, or even in 2010. My dear people of Trinidad and Tobago, wake up. Stop allowing politics to control your mind.
Weather report for Trinidad and Tobago. Thursday, June 4, 2026. The weather forecast for Thursday, June 4, 2026 in Trinidad and Tobago indicates mostly cloudy, breezy, and occasionally wet conditions with standard temperatures reaching a high of 30 degrees Celsius to 31 degrees Celsius and dropping to a low of 24 degrees Celsius. According to the official data from the Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service, the day will feature a mix of occasional showers, slight Saharan haze, and isolated thunderstorms, particularly during the mid to late morning hours. Key weather metrics. Humidity will be very high, ranging between 70% to 95%. The heat index is expected to feel like 33 degrees Celsius during peak daytime hours. Winds will be breezy to windy, coming from the east to southeast at 10 to 45 kilometers per hour, with higher gusts expected near heavier showers. A slight concentration of Saharan haze will persist, so sensitive individuals should consider taking precautions. Marine conditions. For mariners and beachgoers, the seas are forecast to be moderate. Waves will average up to 2.0 meters in open waters and up to 1.5 meters in sheltered areas, though waters can become temporarily choppy during thunderstorm activity. If you need help tracking this for outdoor events or marine travel, let me know so I can give you the exact times for the worst of the rain. Bible quote of the day. James 1:2-4 NIV. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news update. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe, most of all. In Jesus' name.